Disclaimer. This video doesn't use any AI aside from this text-to-speech model, Brian, but the script, editing, thumbnail, and video idea is all done by me. Enjoy the video. If you grew up in the 2010s, or at least existed around those times, you've likely... No. You have heard of Angry Birds. Whether it be through their mobile games, cartoons, or movies, you have absolutely seen one of these little dipshits before. They were kind of like Snoopy or Garfield in the sense that you just see them everywhere and don't think much of it since it's just so normal by this point. In case you don't know this already, Angry Birds is a mobile game. Shocking, I know. Created by Finnish game designer Jaakko Isalo and owned by Rovio Entertainment, who are now owned by the creators of Sonic the Hedgehog. The franchise primarily follows a flock of small, flightless birds as they constantly get their eggs stolen from a large amount of green fat pigs who want to feed the eggs to their king. So the birds fling themselves straight towards their buildings with the structural integrity of a house of cards in order to get their beloved eggs back, since they're the only hope for the species' survival. Most of, if not all, the Angry Birds games are some sort of puzzle games released for phones. While other games and spin-offs do exist, I won't get too in detail about any of them, aside from Bad Piggies, which I'll talk about a little later. Angry Birds also includes other forms of media such as merchandise, theme parks, television, and feature films, with a third one supposed to be coming around December this year. You would probably be lying if you said you've never interacted with any form of Angry Birds content, as for a while it was everywhere. Everywhere you went, there were Angry Birds. On your mug, Angry Birds. On your head, Angry Birds. Your dog? Wrong. Angry Birds. Your cereal? Angry Birds. Your goddamn bra? Angry Birds. It was truly inescapable. With all this success, it was inevitable there would be some crossovers. In 2011, as the third title of the franchise, Angry Birds Rio was released to the App Store and then later released to the Play Store. It was a crossover game with the movie Rio from Blue Sky Studios to promote its release. It followed the story of Red, one of the Blues and Chuck, protecting the three eggs until a cage falls down from the sky and carries them away to Brazil.
You're going to Brazil!
The Angry Birds have to fight their way through Rio to try and get home, while also rescuing all the caged birds along the way. And in 2012, Rovio released Angry Birds Star Wars, being the more popular crossover Angry Birds game. It retold the story of the original Star Wars trilogy, but with the charm and lack of dialogue of Angry Birds. The galaxy is ruled by the Pig Empire, an authoritarian regime led by Darth Swindle, who seeks to eat all the junk food in the galaxy. Swindle's right-hand man, Lord Vader, secretly hopes to seize power and covets the egg.
What? Those Empire bastards stole our eggs? Our eggs?
A mysterious artifact said to hold the power for universal domination. Currently, the Empire is at war with the Bird Rebels, who try to overthrow the Empire. The game would also go on to get a sequel in 2013 based off the prequel trilogy movies. As mentioned earlier, there were also spin-offs, such as Bad Piggies, also released in 2012. It would follow the story of Ross, since I suppose a regular minion pig was too basic. Ross and his gang would try to find the eggs using contraptions made from wood and metal boxes, powered by engines, or moved by things like fans, wheels, and umbrellas. You would navigate the weird and wacky terrain of Piggy Island while trying to keep your vehicle together as an attempt to collect a part of something needed for the story's progression. The Angry Birds franchise would also go on to get a movie in 2016 in collaboration with Sony. The movie would take place in an alternate universe where instead of both the birds and pigs both living on Piggy Island, the birds would live on Bird Island and the pigs would live on Piggy Island. The story follows our main character, Red, living his life as a loser chud with big eyebrows, no friends, no family, and no huzz, until one day he nearly murders a child, and that child ends up preferring Red over his fat biological dad. Can't blame him. And Red gets sent to anger management class where he meets the rest of the birds from the original games. The pigs eventually arrive destroying Red's home, but nobody cares because nobody likes Red. At first, it's just Leonard, who is apparently supposed to be the father of the King Pig from the original games, and his servant Ross from Bad Piggies, until Red, Chuck, and Bomb sneak onto their ship and find out that there are tons more pigs. Red eventually tries to expose the pigs, but fails. It's only until the pigs steal all the eggs from the island that Red convinces the other birds to band together against the pigs to get their eggs back. They succeed, and now everyone likes Red. And then Red and Chuck get married at the end. There was also a second movie, but I prefer to pretend it doesn't exist. So safe to say, Angry Birds had all the success it needed to stay in the successful, right? Surely having well over 1 billion total downloads, a successful movie, and major cultural relevance would be more enough to stay afloat, right? Right? Well, apparently not. Here's what happened. As I'm sure you know, in February 2019, around the time of Angry Birds' 10th birthday, all the classic games would be delisted from all stores except Bad Piggies, which would be re-added like 5 seconds later because I guess Bad Piggies is too good, even for Rovio to remove. Rovio would go on to say they did this because the engine they run on was too old and outdated to keep on, since it would have issues on newer phones. Now, this isn't exactly correct, since it is technically possible to still download them by using APKs or ISO files, and from my experience at least they seem to run just fine. But I'm pretty sure the real reason they did it is because nobody liked their newer Candy Crush clones and wanted to play real games, so would continue to play the classic, objectively better games instead, because why wouldn't you? So Rovio would remove all the games as a way to bring attention to their newer games. As to be expected, nobody liked this, and everyone would complain with the hashtag #BringBack2012 trend started by
Maximum Overdrive.
To make it worse, only a little later, everyone would get locked inside and not really have anything better to do than complain online. Skip forward a few years, Rovio would respond to the fans with a letter to the fans where they promised to bring back a few of the older games and be better going forward. Did they follow through with this, though? Well, yes, actually. Kind of. Sort of. In 2022, Rovio would release Rovio Classics Angry Birds for like $1, which would be a remake of the original Angry Birds made in 2009. It was all right. A bit buggy and inconsistent with the art styles, and had quite a bit of the original game missing was. But overall, in my opinion, at least it was decent and showed Rovio were genuine about their statement. But of course, nothing good with this company seems to last, as the game would be removed from the Play Store and renamed to Red's First Flight on the App Store, due to it not performing how they wanted, and they didn't want paid games. It's now 2026 and no new games have been brought back, and there are no signs of them coming back. This isn't to say the old games are impossible to play. The games are heavily archived, with there being APKs for every Android version of each game, and IPA files for every Apple, which do require a bit of setting up, but are possible to use. And of course, if you already had them downloaded, they still run just fine. And on PC, all the versions can be found on the Internet Archive, which I will leave the link to in the description for anyone who wants to play them. And if you're too much of a whittle goody to choose to use them, since they're technically piracy, or you're scared of getting a virus, which is a bit more valid reason than the last. There are still other Angry Birds games up on the stores, but of course they are mainly just the Match 3 games. So what does this mean for the future? Is Angry Birds coming back? Is there any hope? Well, considering they got removed in 2019, and it's now 2026, and the 2022 remake didn't last, I think it's safe to say they aren't officially coming back. If you are a fan of the newer content, however, which many people aren't, That's great, and I am really happy for you that you still managed to find joy out of this franchise, as it means so much to so many people. Thanks, Rovio. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for watching the video. If you've gotten this far, it's either because you know me or enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, maybe show some support by hyping it up, or you know the usual ways to support a YouTuber. No pressure if you don't want to for whatever reason. But if things go well, it'd be pretty nice to do YouTube for a living instead of getting a real job, because that would be lame. Anyway, I am Son of a Game. Bye.